This is the Stronghold Digital Mining Daily Update. Today is Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. So today we're going to focus on some numbers that we have not focused on in a while. Let's put up the first slide, please. Okay, this is going to be an 8-day average. So from the beginning of August until right now, PJM Penelec, that's the zone of the grid in western Pennsylvania where the Scrubgrass power plant is located, average grid price for basically the month of August, August 1st until right now, $24.73. PJM PPNL, which is the zone of the grid I happen to be in, the average grid price has been $17.17. The all-important Bitcoin priced in dollars per megawatt hour, $83.31. So that's basically, again, just to reiterate, from the beginning of the month till about now, right? Well, yeah, till exactly now, maybe about like 30 minutes ago now. And finally, BTC, right, the spot price, 29,146. That's the average with the network hash rate of 381. Okay, back to me now, please. Now, this is really important, right? These numbers really, really matter a lot because our two primary revenue inputs are taking the electricity that we create at our waste coal reclamation facilities, Scrubgrass in western Pennsylvania, Panther Creek here in eastern Pennsylvania, taking that electricity and either selling it to the grid and getting money as a result of doing so, or alternatively, using that electricity ourselves. We not only own Scrubgrass and Panther Creek, right, but we also own our own data centers. So what is contained in those data centers, of course, are Bitcoin mining machines. So if we use our own electricity to mine Bitcoin, oftentimes that can produce a far better, right, economic result for Stronghold Digital Mining, right, for the company. Now, we are going to be having an all-important investor presentation this coming Thursday. I'm going to recalibrate a couple of these numbers as it relates specifically really to Bitcoin price in dollars per megawatt hour based on what it appears our fleet-wide Bitcoin mining machine efficiency ratio might happen to be, specifically how many joules per terahash is our fleet-wide average. I am kind of projecting that to the extent our data centers are 130 megawatts cumulatively, right? Both Scrubgrass and Panther Creek, put together, and we hit 4 exahash of Bitcoin mining capacity. With that amount of electricity usage, it kind of implies a roughly now 32.5 joules per terahash Bitcoin miner efficiency. I suspect that's going to go a bit lower because I also suspect that our max isn't exactly 4, but perhaps closer to 4.2, maybe 4.3 exahash. So I am going to be recalibrating some of these numbers, but I thought it was still nonetheless useful to look at the numbers as they exist for this month so far. BTC MW, from my perspective, 83.31 is a very useful number. I'm not going to say it's a phenomenal number. I'm not going to say it's, an extraordinary number. It is a very, very useful number that, from my math at least, kind of, is keeping us right above water, which is like really, really important. And so we're building upon the momentum that began really at the beginning of July. Now, the stock price. This is exciting. So we are actually up almost 14% today, but that's not the part that's as exciting. What's intriguing as heck is that yesterday we hit like a low of $5.80 a share. We're trading right now at about $7.73 a share. To me, I think it's really, really interesting because we were down like quite a bit yesterday. And we clawed our way back to being just down a little bit. And today we're really, doing pretty well. As, to be fair, it's like really the entire publicly traded Bitcoin mining ecosystem. The price of Bitcoin itself is right now, like present time, hovering really close to 30,000. There are a lot of catalysts that have the potential to really push our stock higher. And I was actually gonna, maybe try my hand at showing a chart and maybe getting into a little bit of technical analysis. But, the reality is that's not my strength, okay? There is somebody, however, whose work I recently discovered that I think you're going to really, really like. So this is an individual, I believe, who goes by the name C-zar Gets Crypto. And I apologize, C-zar, if that's maybe pronounced a slightly different way. With all of that said, I'm going to link in the description below to what really felt, when I watched this, I felt as if though I were sitting beside a NASA like mission control specialist, you know, like, and the way in which our stock price and sort of like all the sort of the technical factors that, you know, portend to a potential, like really explosive, like truly explosive rise in our stock price. The way C-zar Gets Crypto like explained all this was just not only incredibly mesmerizing at some level, but it was also just very, very fascinating. You know, I tend to dig, you know, pretty heavily into, I guess, what you could describe as like sort of like the fundamentals and kind of like operations. I mean, here I am like looking at power plants and, you know, trying to compute all these numbers behind the scenes. But, you know, I think C-zar's perspective is incredibly important as well, because, you know, at the end of the day, the one number that all of us collectively as co-owners, shareholders of Stronghold Digital Mining, the one number that I know with 1,000% certainty we can all rally behind is that stock price. I don't know of a single shareholder who's going to complain about this stock doing a moonshot, okay? And the way C-zar Gets Crypto describes the potential for this stock to just go up in value, I mean, it kind of felt like it really feels like we're sitting on the launch pad, and that more and more fuel is getting added to this, really to our vessel, this vessel called Stronghold Digital Mining. And, you know, at first it's like, hey, we're just getting enough fuel to do a moonshot, right? But gosh, the fuel that's being added, it almost feels like we're heading out of this galaxy. So check out that video. It's linked in the description below. It's somewhat lengthy, but I think it's really, really interesting. And this, unfortunately, is where I ran into some technical issues, so we're going to have to end the video unceremoniously right here. Let's stay positive, let's be great, and we'll see each other again tomorrow.